Welcome back. So, as you can see, I'm in the van again. So, we'll be talking about the van a little bit. We did a Memorial Day weekend trip. It was Thursday. Robert got off of work a little early and we drove from the North Central Florida area where we are at up to Asheville from Thursday evening until Sunday morning, Sunday early afternoon, and then we headed home. We stayed 2 nights at a rest area in Asheville along I-26. It was pretty comfortable. And then in Chattanooga, we stayed at a Walmart, and it was a little warm that evening when we went to bed. We weren't sure if we were going to be able to sleep pretty well, but we did. It was actually fairly comfortable by the time that we woke up in the morning. It was pretty cool. And so that worked out well, especially since we didn't have that eco flow yet for this trip. When we went to Asheville, we went to the Botanical Gardens. That is donation only, so there's no entry fee. So if you're looking for something that's free or just a minimal cost, that is a great place to go. So when we went into the gift shop, we did find these coffee mugs um, made by a local artist, and I just thought they reminded me of Christmas, and they're just simple and yet beautiful. And then plus all your fingers go through the handle. That's super important to me for things like coffee mugs. Um, but they just bring joy, and they're just, you spend a little bit more for them than you would buying a mug at like Target. But we use these every day and they just bring joy and happiness, and it reminds us of our trip. It was raining when we went that day, so it was a little bit of a shorter visit than we had planned. And somebody was getting married that day, so I hope their wedding went very well, and just best of luck to them. And they also have like a sensory garden. So all of the plants are like this neat texture, or they have like a very strong scent. So think of like rosemary or lavender, things like that. That was pretty cool, and I enjoyed that immensely. Even though I'm not a gardener, I wish that I was. And since it was raining, we obviously got a little wet. So, to make any changes, or what I would change for the next trip, is I would have more places to be able to hang a wet raincoat um, or a rain jacket, to have it hang over the area where you step in from the sliding door, because it drains there. And then the other thing that I would change is these towels, the hiking towels. They are quick dry, but then that means that they're polyester and polyamide. I don't know how to say that. But I don't like these towels. It felt like it just moved the water around and didn't actually dry your skin. So for the next trip, I would actually bring 100% cotton towels, and then just deal with how long it's going to take them to dry. These were just a no for me. So if they work for you, please let me know in the comments down below. Maybe I'm doing something wrong with them or whatever, but it was just, and they're not very large. Obviously, I don't know what the sizing is. I can't get that pictured in my mind. I need to like actually see it to know. So they weren't giant. They're not like normal bath sized towels. Um, but I didn't, and Robert doesn't like them either. So that would be the second change. And then we went to lunch. We ate out more. So we had brought all of this food. We're going to be gone for like 4 days, 3.5 days. So I made some taco soup. So we brought some and 2 taco soups. And then Robert had made some chili. have some heavy whipping cream, sour cream, and cheddar. And then I also made some more cheesecake bites to bring with us. And then we have some diet sodas. So, and then, oh, that's right, I forgot. And some brisket dip to go with, the stuff is actually delicious. If you have a Sam's, check it out. But we brought, this cooler is big enough to carry everything that we would need to keep cool for like a 4-day trip. And then we ate lunch at the riverside, and I don't know, it might have been along the French Broad River. We crossed that river multiple times, and I lost track of which river we were crossing. I don't think we were in Asheville at the time when we finally stopped, but we actually did make lunch in the van one day. So we used the hot plate that we have. So then we had the pot to clean and then the 2 bowls. And what we have are plastic bowls. Because I was like, well, they won't break. But washing plastic without hot water or the normal water pressure that you would get in the house, it is a huge pain to wash these, that I found anyways. Even with Dawn dish detergent, and then the water is cold or cool, I had to wash them several times until I felt like there wasn't any grease in them. So for the next trip, I know it's not eco-friendly, but we will be doing paper. And then it's pretty easy to wash the pan that we have because it's one of those nonstick pans. I know, don't give me a hard time about like all of the stuff that's in the coating, but that was fairly easy to clean, so that I didn't have a problem with. But to use paper plates, paper bowls, and then disposable silverware just would be way easier. Again, we're not living in it full time. It's just long weekends, and maybe a week-long trip. So I think that that's maybe a better use of time when you're on vacation to maybe not be washing dishes. And then when we visited More to Love, I got 2 shirts. And they're probably pretty boring. They're not colorful, but I liked the details that are on them. So this one's got like a little bit of a ruffle all the way down. Feels like it could be appropriate for work or church. Again, they start at size large and then go up. So this is a petite large, and it was $9. Again, it's a consignment store. It's not a thrift store. So prices are going to be a little bit more. And then this one I think is also a large. And this one was $7.50. And then I liked it just because of the sleeves. And then it's got a little bit of ribbing on it. So I always like to go thrifting when I'm on vacation, even if I only get 1 or 2 items like I did here, and then just support a local business. I was only there for maybe 30 minutes, so it wasn't a long trip. I didn't spend my whole time there, but it was nice to be able to get in, go shopping really quick. And it was right before they closed, and it was also raining on this trip. So that kind of changed how our trip ended up going, because we were going to stay only in Asheville, and then it was just raining, and it showed that it was not going to be raining in Chattanooga. So we headed over that way, and that was not the plan. But it ended up being a happy accident because we pulled up there on Saturday, late afternoon, early evening, noticed that in the downtown area there were a ton of food trucks. And there was this stage down at the riverfront. And so every Saturday night, they have riverfront nights for the summer. Here's their schedule. And we got to see a Prince tribute band, Purple Madness. And the video that I have just does not do them justice at all. They were amazing. there was a lot of people up dancing, and there were a lot of people that came. And I just liked Chattanooga. Like, I had always thought, oh, whatever, I don't know. But it was a lot of fun. That's a pretty cool town. Didn't really get to explore downtown a whole lot, but we did kind of walk around. It was very nice. It was comfortable to walk around, and easy to find your way around, even if you've never been there before. And then we did end up going to the aquarium on Sunday. So here's some videos from the aquarium, some pictures. They You pay to get in. I can't remember. I think it was like maybe $40 a person, and they have, I think, like an IMAX that you can get into. There's a building where they have all of the ocean, and then there's another building where it's more like the river, and kind of the flow of that from where it starts up in the mountains and flows down. And so the different flora and fauna, and just kind of the different topography and the different animals that you'll see throughout the walk uh, down that riverfront or down the river. And I had a lot of fun there. And then we headed home. So we were home for Memorial Day, and then just got reset for the work week. And that's always really nice to be able to do laundry, and just kind of get reset for your work week. I always like to have just one day at home where you can kind of get reoriented and get back into your schedule. But this was a great weekend trip. The only thing that we missed was one night with the AC, but it worked out just fine by the morning. It was great. That's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so grateful you're here. As always, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Have a wonderful weekend.